Hey there, my name's Will. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about right hand techniques and playing chords on bass. I'm going to start off with a little demonstration. Hope you don't mind. Alright, so like I said, we're focusing on the right hand today. So what I'm going to talk to you about is most of what I did there. I switched it up a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about plucking, just plucking through your chords standard fingerstyle way, a little bit about sort of a classical guitar type way with just pinching it with your thumb and fingers, and my favorite way, which is sort of this flamenco type style, which I was doing a lot of, just strumming. So one way to play a chord is the first way, the fingerstyle way, which is where we set up our fingers, you know, just like we're playing it, and we just pluck through two strings. I really like this way if I'm playing like a double stop, like, you know, just the 1 and the 5 of a chord, 1 and the 5 of a chord, in case you couldn't hear me while I played. The reason is it gets a really strong, aggressive sound, and it's still not too percussive. It's really great for like a rock style. And if you want to like, if you're not playing with a pick and you want to jam on like some say Motorhead type stuff, like excellent for that. It gets that raw drive, and it's still not too percussive. The second way I mentioned is sort of the claw hand classical guitar style, and the nice thing about this one is it's really soft. It gets a nice soft sound. I would say it's really nice for like jazz chords. So there's this bit, let's see if I remember it correctly. So what I love about that one, and that was a Guthrie Guffin piece, by the way, wonderful slippery thing, look it up, is it's really soft and you can really micromanage your notes. And also it makes it really easy to have like a bass line in there, different notes. So if I can go from, that is a G7 chord, just the 1, 7, 3, I can sort of micromanage them. So if I want to emphasize the let's say the third, I can just pluck that harder with my middle finger right here. I've got them all lined up. We really hear that third. Let's try it with the 7th. Just hook them in. I pulled my finger off at the last minute. Hopefully you can hear the 7th a little bit more. And if we want that, right, we get that stroking through with the thumb on the bass line. It makes for a really cool sound. It makes it really soft. So it's nice for those like jazzier chords, more tonal chords, because it allows you to hear each individual part. Whereas, you know, if I just straight through pluck that one, I'm muting my A string there. It's a little bit bit too much power probably to hear the full thing. And then it gets a little muddy if I play it soft. Little nicer with the claw, I think. I like the claw for those types of chords. But my favorite way, my absolute favorite way, because you can do some really cool stuff, I think, by just really just hitting your bass strings. This is sort of a flamenco type style. Les Claypool uses it a lot. Stanley Clarke uses it a decent amount. I love this style. I use it all the time. So it's just, one teacher described it to me as it's like you have some water on your hand is wet, and you're just flicking off some drops of water. And I love that because it's perfect. So I'm just going to hit this. This is a D, 1 and 5. 1, 5. There we go. So what I do is, I hit the string when I come down, that downstroke. I hit it with my fingernails, the tops of my fingernails, which is a really satisfying motion to make, and for whatever reason it doesn't hurt anymore. When I first tried doing it, it hurt a little bit. So you gotta, as with anything on bass, you gotta get used to feeling pain. But on the downstroke, let's see. The downstroke is a lot less percussive. So it's like, I mean, it's just like doing it on a guitar. You get hard downstrokes. And not so hard upstrokes, right? Sometimes I will play just upstrokes on that. So like, sometimes I'll just play like, and it's not quite just the pluck through, because it's not quite as percussive. It's a little bit softer and a little bit more round. Whereas sometimes you can play just downstrokes. And each gets a different sound. One thing I absolutely love doing is kind of adding in this sort of guitar strumming like mute that you don't really get with, if you play with a pick on the bass, you don't quite get the same effect. But it's kind of like, this is a riff from my band, Half Moon Devil. Those, so I get that in between there, and it's really difficult to get that sound with any other technique I've found, other than maybe, you know, and that's kind of a pain, so I don't do that. Yeah, so with this type of technique, this flamenco, strum up and down, you know, I was doing it with all types of chords in that little demonstration I gave, so it was... And then to majors, well, sort of a major... But my favorite things to do it with, if you want to play sort of like, you know, this rock where it's a lot of fifth chords, a lot of fourth chords, it's kind of undefined sound tonically. It's really fun to do power chords, sort of the 1, 5, 1, and then go down a fourth, also a power chord. And my favorite, my absolute favorite, is just octaves, straight up octaves. So mute the A string. If I'm not hitting the E string with my to hit the chord, I'm always muting it. Like I always hit the bass so that rest the thumb on the E string, and then hit the rest with the rest of my fingers. That's an important step. And if I want to hit the like if I want to hit the D and the G string, oftentimes I actually won't stop my thumb there. Like. because then I'll actually hit the E string. Instead, I'll mute it with my fingers. So I'll mute it with my left hand. So now, go practice. Go practice these. Try them out for yourself. It's really worth exploring. A lot of great players do use chords on bass, and I think it just way opens up your possibilities for building bass lines and exploring your role in the music. So thank you for your time.